This is CALYX.
I'm TEEBEE.
And you're watching and listening to Bass Island.
Indeed, Bass Island.
We're here at the Drum and Bass Arena launch party in London with CALYX and TEEBEE. Hello guys, such a pleasure to have you here.
Hi, it's nice to be here.
Okay, we've had the honor of the first Italian play of your latest remix of Kingpin, also a Smasher of the Week here on Bass Island. How did that remix collab come about?
Friction asked us to do it, and we loved doing it. It was one of those ones actually that almost wrote itself. You know, the parts were great, and the tune, we just, you know, it just came out real easy and real quick.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. We had really good vocals to work with, and as Larry said, the original track was brilliant. So yeah, we just went and smashed it basically.
Wonderful. Well, I obviously want to chat with you about your new amazing album, All or Nothing. How long have you guys been working on the album for? And how important is the track list order in a long player in the end?
Wow. It's important. Yeah.
It's a very good question. I mean, the album itself, more or less 5 years in the making. We did loads of different styles. We were going to do a multi-genre album, but we ended up with so much good drum and bass that we decided to stay true to ourselves, and we just realised, you know what, we love this music, and let's portray it to the best of our abilities, how we want it to sound. And that's kind of, you know, that was what it was all about. Track listing. Track listing.
Yeah, just wanting to tell the right sort of journey and yeah, mix it up and just show that how we're into all sort of all sides of drum and bass really. So that's what we did. We just wanted it to be quite varied stylistically.
Right.
Yeah, and that was the journey we came up with. I mean, so to be honest, some days we totally changed the track listing completely, but you know, the final one we're happy with.
Yeah.
Tell us about all the collabs in the album with Kimo, Fahrenbeckers, Birdie Man.
Yeah, really enjoyed those. We only wanted to collaborate with vocals really, rather than other producers on that album.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just crossed paths with all the other vocalists at various points, and yeah, love the results. Definitely going to do some more with those guys.
A huge surprise from you guys was actually Elevate This Sound, both for its unexpected sound and because it is you, CALYX, singing. How did you come to the decision of singing yourself?
It was the first track I sang on, and I thought about singing for years, and I joke around in the studio singing, and TEEBEE always says, oh, you've got a great voice, you should sing. And I think on this album we just wanted to push ourselves to do things we wouldn't normally do a bit, you know, and not do what was expected or predictable for us, you know. So I thought, let's have a go. And I wrote about sort of overcoming the sort of inhibitions that stopped me singing anyway, because I just felt self-conscious and weird about it, and I thought, okay, let's just do it. And yeah, that's how it came about. I just sang it, and that was that.
Yeah.
It's been a year now since you signed exclusively to RAM. How has RAM helped you elevate your sound, or vice versa?
Well, in many ways, it's about the platform and the branding, and you know, the people, the dedicated staff, and their merits. You know, they are by far the biggest label in drum and bass, and maybe even to a certain extent in bass music. And for us, it was a natural progression in order to elevate ourselves into the bracket that we wanted to be in. And they've done a tremendous job, and looking back on it, no doubt that we did the right thing, and we're really happy with how everything's gone down.
And you just won the most prestigious prizes at the Drum and Bass Arena Awards, Best Producer and Best Track, as well as Best Video. Which is the one that took you most by surprise?
All three, actually.
Yeah, we didn't.
I didn't expect to win anything, and as they announced each one, I sort of folded my arms and sat back in the chair, and then went, whoa! It was like that every time, every time. It was amazing, yeah. It was a great night. Definitely not going to forget that. Yeah.
And I know that TEEBEE lives in Norway, so I suppose the tunes are mainly done over the internet, right?
He was there for 1 more week, and then he moves to England.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
Well, what changes when each of you works individually and when you sit together in the studio?
Yeah.
And how has each of you helped shape the current sound?
I mean, we were both solo artists. When we did our first collaborative album, we did every track together in the room, and we were pressed for time, and you know, we followed a certain formula. With this one, because we were separated in loads of the creative process where we were passing projects back and forth, it allowed us to put our individuality a bit more in the tracks, but at the same time, because we got to spend so much time by ourselves going down avenues we normally wouldn't have gone down if we were together, you know, just to walk down somewhere where wouldn't necessarily lead to anything. The end results really sort of like gained from that, and yeah, it was a great way of doing things, because as you know, as stated, we got to be individuals as well as a collaborative effort.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
Right. Now, a delicate matter. Let's speak of pure production techniques. What you guys use to produce? Analog, digital? Do you combine them? Are there any favorite pieces of gears or softwares that you have?
I'd be happy to get all that info.
Yeah. To put it simply, though.
Yeah.
I think when we were solo artists, we were all analog gear.
Right.
Then when we came together for our first album, Anatomy, we kind of went all digital. And to be honest, for us, it sounds like we struggle with that a bit. Yeah. Then on this album, we really kind of mastered that realm, but now we're coming full circle and we've actually started bringing analog gear back in, so we're getting the best of both worlds, really. Yeah. I think one of the big differences is that when we used to use analog gear, it was sort of low-end analog gear, generally sort of cheap, amateurish stuff. Now we're combining the best of digital with some really good high-end pieces of analog gear.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about, you know, because everyone with a DAW and you know, a crack piece of software can now sit down and make music. But the real dedicated people are willing to spend a small fortune on selective, you know, pieces of analog gear that's really going to make your stuff stand out. And that's where we are at the moment.
I see. One last question. I know that you're seriously thinking of starting a house project under a different name. Is that true?
It is.
It is very true.
We didn't tell anyone about that.
No, I don't know where you got that.
That's for later in the year.
So secrets for now.
Yeah. Just a separate thing to CALYX and TEEBEE.
It's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I'll see you guys next week in Milan. Just say something to your audience in Italy to like prepare the audience what they're going to see.
Cannot wait to come out to Milan. Haven't been there for ages, actually.
Can't wait. It's going to be good.
Always love playing in Italy.
Ciao.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Ciao for now.
Ciao. I'll see you next week in Italy.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Grazie.
Thanks.